What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the BuildaTrader YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be making a weekly outlook. However, this is my first weekly outlook video, but I do plan on making more and releasing them every week. So to start things off, we will be looking at some of the news coming up for this trading week. And I get my news from forexfactory.com. And those that don't know what Forex Factory is, the news events are arranged in folders, color coding folders between low impact, medium impact, and high impact news. Low impact is yellow folders, medium impact news is orange folders, and the high impact news are red folders. Okay. So continuing on Monday at 7:30, we have some Australian dollar news. We have the Regional Bank of Australia releasing a rate statement. Then we have a little bit of high impact news on Tuesday, some NZD and some Canadian dollar, as well as some USD news during New York session, about 2 hours into New York session. On Wednesday, we have some high impact news for the Canadian dollar as well as the US dollar. On Thursday, we have high impact news for the Great British Pound, and this is at 4 a.m. pre-market to New York. So we should expect the pound pairs, euro pairs, odd pairs to move, to be a little volatile before market open. So be advised and manage your risk on these positions, because this is going to be something, it's going to move a little strange. So just be careful with any surprises. And on Friday, we have NFP for the US dollar and unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar. Now, moving on, we're going to start with the pairs that I trade. And I'm also going to do some technical analysis on BTC, on Bitcoin. But the main pairs I trade are the Nasdaq 100, Australian dollar, AUDUSD, and Canadian dollar, USDCAD. So first things first, we're going to look at the Nasdaq 100. And in the stock market, the Nasdaq 100 is the composite index of the top 100 stocks in the Nasdaq, okay? Hence Nasdaq 100. And this includes the tech stocks like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and so on. So we can see off the weekly time frame that we are pretty bearish for the last few weeks. Or actually this whole month we've been really bearish. And we can see that last week we closed as a doji. If we go a step lower, I believe that next week, or this week coming up, we should see bullish movement up here to come up to the upside. And I think this because, one, we obviously had that huge sell-off. Two, last week we created a double bottom here on this major higher time frame level. Now we also created it is in a range, a slight range, but we can see that there is some bullish pressure here. There are buyers here, right? We had two strong bullish engulfing candles. Erase this arrow. So for the open of next week on Monday, well, I guess today, in a few hours at 2 p.m., because the market opens at 2 p.m. on Sundays. But for Monday open, New York open, and for the rest of the week, I do see pull back down to here, perhaps hit this level or wick down into the zone, and then a test of this resistance, and hopefully it breaks out from here and continues up, creates a higher low, and keeps trending to the upside before the month ends. Okay. Now I think this because look, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 tests on this technical level. This doesn't appear to be breaking anytime soon. And there does need to be a bullish correction from the highs, because we have fallen tremendously without any real retracement. Any real major retracement. We fell 2,700 pips, base 2,700 points. That is insane. That's over 15% in a month that the stock market has sold off. Okay, so we see the market was bearish. We see this type of a little transition going on here. Either the market's going to continue and break down lower, but I don't see that. Like I said, I see a continuation to the upside. Hopefully we get a little buying pressure for this week, and I will be looking to take buys for this pair, hopefully, if the price action is confirming so, on these wick rejections that we may see down here, and then look to close the positions at this resistance, and then if this resistance breaks, look for a retest somewhere on this level or down to here, and then we can maybe target, you know, these next levels up here. But that's what I'm seeing for the Nasdaq 100. Moving on, we are going to look at the Australian dollar, AUDUSD. Now we're looking on the right side here on this chart. Let me remove these levels here because I already have this chart marked up as this is my main pair. So we can see that on last week and the previous week, this whole month we've been bearish, right? We have two bearish engulfing candles, and we are at this major low point of structure based off the weekly time frame. Okay, now the probability for this would be a continuation, a bearish continuation to the downside, to come down to this major level here at 685 range, the 0.685 range. However, there should be a minor retracement to start off the week. I believe a pullback up to this level here. You can see this level of resistance, broken support, now resistance. Can get a retest, and then a continuation down to these lows here, this major level. Because once this point of structure breaks, once this point of weekly structure breaks, there's nothing until really down in this area. Move that arrow. However, that being said, I do see the market retracing, like I said, up to here, or possibly it could overshoot to the 707 range, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people looking for sells to get in, a lot of sellers looking for this continuation move, and a lot of people are going to be getting on this level here, 7025, 0.7025, and this is a good level to get in on. However, the market could keep pushing a little past that and try and fake people out and to make them think that it is not going to continue bearish. Okay, and there does need to be a bit of a sizable retracement because we have fallen about over 200 pips. Yeah, 300 pips these last 2 weeks. So there does need to be a little bit of a retracement here before we continue down, because nothing can just continually moving straight down, right? There's got to be pullbacks. Okay, and if the market does pull back from down here to this level, it's about a 30 pip retracement, and if it does pull up to the 707 range, it's about an 80 pip retracement. Okay, and that is very, very realistic, and I will be looking to take sell positions around like I said, 7025, we get rejections, or 707 range, and looking to target this major level down there. All right, but that's what I'm seeing on AUDUSD. For the week, we should get a bearish continuation. Next, we're looking at USDCAD, the old loony here. So off the weekly time frame, we can see last week we were very, very bullish. The US dollar has been very strong this month. Has been recovering compared to the prior months. Last couple weeks, it's been pretty bearish. Up until this month. This month, January, she has broken out and pushed tremendously to the upside. So we go down to the daily time frame. We closed bullish last week. Now I'm expecting a retracement on this pair as well. All right. And we should pull back to, should have a decent retracement down to perhaps here. So we can see there are, it's making bullish structure, right? Higher highs and higher lows. There's no question that the US dollar against the Canadian dollar is bullish. Okay, but if we take a step back, we can see there's no major structure points made on the higher time frame, which is telling me that we need to have a retracement. We need to create structure. The market needs to create structure. That's how prices are able to move and continue or reverse based off structure. So we can see there's a minor pullback here, but I don't think this is that strong. And if it does retrace down to this level from where the price closed last week, it'd be about a 40 pip retracement. And if it does continue lower, it'd be about a 90 to 100 pip retracement. Okay, so the price would need to respect this major point of structure here in order to continue. Apologies. This major point of structure here in order to continue bullish for next week, or yeah, for this week coming up. And to lower time frame. Yeah, I believe this to be just noise. It's just a slight pullback, but we closed as a double top last week, and we should at least see a retracement. And if we do get a retracement, it lines up with the trade idea that we have with AUDUSD, because the Australian dollar and the US dollar cannot both strengthen. They're inverse, right? The US dollar, if the US dollar strengthens, the Australian dollar has to go down, because they're both major currencies. They can't strengthen against each other. Same with like the euro and the US dollar. The euro cannot gain while the US dollar is gaining, right? In theory, the US dollar, if the US dollar is gaining, the euro is weakening, okay? And vice versa. So if the US dollar against the Canadian dollar weakens, that means AUD will strengthen, which gives us that, it gives us a possible clue that we will get that bullish retracement on AUDUSD, and we'll get a bearish retracement on CAD down to these major levels. And if we do hit this major point of structure, I will be looking for buys right around here, boss down here, and we'll be targeting this higher level, this higher time frame level here based off the weekly time frame. Now most likely I probably won't hold it all the way up to there. Most likely I'll close it at a more of an intraday resistance level, because I don't typically hold trades for that long. Not gonna lie, I don't catch big moves like that, and I'm way more consistent when I'm going for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pips, you know, not for these big moves. I have to get stopped out. So I believe this is really realistic here, really realistic scenario on USDCAD. Come down to major levels and then have a major bullish continuation. Lastly, we're going to look at BTCUSD. Now, crypto's been very bearish as well compared to the major run-up that we had. Now, you can see Bitcoin's not marked up like my other pairs. That's because I don't trade Bitcoin in the regular. However, I will do some technical analysis on it, because there's a lot of investors and lots of people who are invested in, you know, Ethereum and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies that are a bit fearful right now because they don't know what's going on. Okay, so we can see that Bitcoin is bearish, just a straight downtrend, right? Bearish engulfing last week. We can see that we have a bullish candle off for this week, which closes in 7 hours and 17 minutes. Now this, just because it closed bullish doesn't mean that the price is going to continue up. This doesn't look good. It looks like price is going to continue lower. Looks like Bitcoin is going to try and go down to the 30K region here, where all these wick rejections are. And most likely will break it, right? And if it does break, we could possibly see Bitcoin around hit around the 20K region. Okay, now some of you be like, what? That's a really big drop. Yeah, it is. I mean, it already has dropped a lot, but that'd be another 50% decline in Bitcoin if we see prices go to 20K. Okay, and it's very, very realistic, because look at the highs we were at, 68, 69,000, 70,000 around there, to this price where we're currently at is a 45% decline, and the lows of last week was a 50% decline. So it's a very realistic to see another 50% decline for it to continue down lower. Okay, I'm just reading the technicals here, and this is exactly what they're saying. Look, downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. This is a lower high. If the market continues bearish, we should see a lower low down to here, down to the 30K region. However, we can see how every single time we have hit and it's bounced, I don't see that happening this time. I think a lot of people are expecting this, but I think Bitcoin most likely will break through and perhaps will pull up like that. Many people think that its price is going to bounce and recover from here, but ultimately pushes down to around the $20,000 range. All right, so if this does happen, be careful, be wary of the situation. It is very realistic, and if you are currently investing in Bitcoin, you know, just keep this in mind. And if you guys are looking for a good price to buy Bitcoin out on the low, on the dip, the 20K region is a pretty good price comparative to the highs. You know, that's a major retracement that we had from appear down to here. Remember, the whole point of investing is buying low and selling high. So if you were looking to invest in Bitcoin, 20K isn't too bad. It's a pretty steep discount compared to 50K and 60K where we were. But that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching my weekly outlook, and I'll have more uploaded here in the coming weeks.